own a home or have plans to in the future? Or are you upside down in your mortgage and need help? Tune in right now to the Call Toni Real Estate Radio Show with Toni Patillo and her co-host Carla Dennis. This is where you come to learn about buying real estate. Here's Toni.
Hello, Los Angelinos. I'm your host, Toni Patillo, and you're listening to Call Toni Real Estate Radio here on KEIB AM 1150, The Patriot.
Toni, we have a special guest in studio.
I am so excited. Robert Stepp. Listen, Robert Stepp is in my office. We work together
very closely. I understand.
Very closely, by the way. We'll cover that story in a minute. But Robert is the president for Stepp Commercial, specializing in the sale of multifamily properties in the greater Long Beach, California market. With a decade of industry experience, Rob has established himself as the leader in the multifamily arena in Long Beach with both private sellers and asset managers by creating value for his clients through his extensive market knowledge. Experience and professionalism direct Rob's efforts towards long-term relationships rather than transaction-oriented business. He's committed to the highest level of client service and ethical standards. Robert, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Toni?
Oh, I'm doing good, but I got to tell you something. I learned a lot from you.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you are really on your stuff, and I'm super honored to be able to sit next to you.
Well, I was pretty nervous when you told me you heard everything. So.
What was it about the commercial that intrigued you, and how did you really get engaged with it?
I started dating this woman named Kimberly Roberts, right?
My name is Robert
Stepp, and I started dating Kimberly
funny.
Roberts. And Kimberly Roberts turned out to be my wife, Kimberly Roberts Stepp.
That's awesome.
And she just started poking me and said, hey, why don't you sell these bigger buildings? You kind of have more of a sophisticated investor. And yeah, it takes twice as long to close a deal, but you make a lot more money, and the investor seems like they make a lot more money on the building.
Nice.
Because you have an economy of scale, right? So if you have a 4 unit for $1 million, or you can buy an 8 unit for $1.5 million, that 8 unit for $1.5 million is going to cash flow better. Your price per unit is going to be a lot more efficient, right? You're going to buy less of a price per unit. So instead of buying $250 a unit, maybe you're buying $200 a unit, right? And it's just going to cash flow much better for you.
Very nice. Do you make renovations to these multifamilies when you're buying them?
Sure. Yeah, that's a big play.
It's not necessarily a flip per se, but these are renovations that will enhance your income potential.
Long Beach is a non-rent control market, so that's important for the investors to look at if they're going to buy in rent control or non-rent control. Non-rent control, they can come in and make renovations right away. Typically, if it's less than 10% increase, they can increase their rents within 60 days of taking over the building. And so most investors will look at a building, let's say it's $1 million, and we call it CapEx, capital improvements, and they're going to put $200,000 of capital improvements, so they're all into the deal for $1.2 million. And they understand what rents they're going to raise after they put that $200,000 in, and can evaluate it and make sense. What that means to the listener is when they take over or buy a building in a rent-controlled area, they're subject to what the city allows for rent increases. Typically, that's between 1.5% and 3%. There are 4 metrics to evaluate a piece of property. I want to give you all 4, but then I'm going to tell you the most important ones that I think. Okay. There's a cap rate. Okay, which is the income the net income into the purchase price. Probably be better off buying a house, living in the house, and going to buy an apartment building and taking the cash flow from the apartment building and investing it and having that cash flow pay for your house.
We want to remind you that we're here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on Call Toni Real Estate Radio here at KEIB AM 1150, The Patriot, where we're committed to bringing you tools for positive change. If you tuned in late and you'd like to go back and listen to the full show, please go to calltoni.com. That's calltoni with an I.com and click on the prior shows link. You can always call us on our off-air number. Again, that's 888-309-9797. That's 888-309-9797. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and friend us on Facebook. And as always, we want you to have a magical, magical week.